Satnam, welcome back. Salimah here. Today, I'm sharing 7 resources to help further your Kundalini yoga practice. Why is this important? Because videos can do a certain amount, and having your own personal inquiry around the practice that you're exploring, it makes it a little deeper and a little bit more meaningful. So without further ado, my name is Salimah, yoga therapist, and I've been practicing and teaching Kundalini yoga for a heck of a long time. And so I'm happy to share all the things that have helped me to learn and grow. Some of them are old resources that I always keep coming back to, and some of them are brand new. So hang on for number 7, because that newest resource has really helped to further and sharpen my experience and understanding of what Kundalini yoga and the yoga industry is all about. All right, so let's jump in. Number 1 is my channel. Why do I say that? Yogavision Online has been around for 11 years, and it's been a really interesting journey. And what you're going to see over the course of time is all the things that I've done to refine my practice, the words that I'm starting to choose, and the ways that I have integrated my practice with what's happening in my life. What I also appreciate about my own journey here is that as a studio owner, back a few years ago, I really learned that every body needs accommodation. Every posture can be modified. And so I've done my very best to modify those practices so that any of you, all of you, no matter what your range of motion or how strong or how flexible you are, you can participate in Kundalini yoga. So that makes that resource number 1. And you found it for a reason, because you know that Kundalini yoga is an incredible healing modality. So that's resource number 1. Share with your friends. Number 2 is if you wanted to go off the beaten track a little bit, away from videos, and do your own self-practice and explore what Kundalini yoga is like in a written format and self-directing, then I highly recommend this book. It's called I Am Woman. And this is a picture of Krishna Kaur on the cover. She is one of the senior teachers in the Kundalini yoga world. And this book is full of gems. First of all, it takes you through different practices, kriyas, different meditations, breathing techniques, and then all the life stages of a woman. So could be relevant to you prenatal, postnatal, premenopausal, all of those kinds of experiences and stages in our lives that are important, and where Kundalini yoga can shed a little bit more knowledge and some ancient technology. So that's number 1. If you're going to go that way, then one of the things that is really important to have is some kind of timing device. Here's the one that I use. This is a very simple digital timer. It does only 2 things. It counts up or it counts down. And it's not like using a phone, because a phone is distracting with notifications and little bells and chimes that go off, and then email that comes through. So what I love about this is that it keeps me focused on my practice, and it allows me to time my exercises very simply and very easily. It has a little tiny chime. And so when I'm practicing on my own for my personal practice, I will use this as a countdown timer. It gives me a little beep, and then I know to move on. And then when I'm teaching classes, for those of you who are Kundalini yoga teachers, I like the stopwatch figure setting, because it allows me to go through the class, eyeballing the time without having too many beeps interrupt the flow of the class. So that's the third resource that I would offer you. You can get timers anywhere. This one I bought many years ago, and I don't think it's even around anymore, but highly recommended that you go ahead and find something like that. The next one is this book called Meditation as Medicine. And this book is for those of us who love science and want to know why Kundalini yoga works so well from a scientific, allopathic analysis, Western analysis. Then this book by Dharma Singh Khalsa is a really good option. He has studied Kundalini yoga at Harvard. He's also part of the Alzheimer's Foundation. And the work here really gives you a scientific insight into why Kundalini yoga works. There's a deep dive here into Kirtan Kriya. You know this one? Satanama why it works so well, how it works, what kind of benefits you can gain from it. And it's all beautifully documented. It's a little rich on science. It's a little bit harder to read, but I think that if you have a little bit of a will behind it, you can definitely get through. This book is on my reading list for Kundalini Yoga teacher training, as is this one. This is called The 8 Human Talents. It's by also a senior teacher in the Kundalini Yoga world named Gurmukh. And what I love about this one is that it goes through in a very friendly, very storytelling kind of way, the 8 chakras and how they impact our lives and what you can do to work with your chakras in order to get good balance and harmony of energy in your body. This is a really great complement to my chakra series here on this channel. So if you're looking to deepen your understanding of energy in the body and the chakras, a really great book. Now, I do want to say that these last 2 books, Meditation is Medicine, as well as this one, 8 Human Talents, they make reference to Yogavision. He was a very important teacher to these particular teachers in their own right. And so if hearing about Yogavision doesn't do anything for you, not interested, then just bypass those ones. Look for more work online, this channel, as well as I Am Woman, Creative, Sacred, and Invincible, which was resource number 2. The next one that I want to offer you is a playlist, and this is the playlist of Kundalini Yoga mantras, and that is also here on my channel. It's my amalgamation of lots of different styles of Kundalini Yoga mantras and an opportunity to listen to that uplifting sound as you go through your practice. Not all of the videos on my channel or on YouTube, and certainly not if you're following along with a book or a manual, will have music attached to it, but some of them will reference music. So having a list that is vetted, that is available to you, gives you a place to start exploring. And you might want to keep that playing in the background as you're working, as you're falling asleep, as you're doing your daily things around your home or working, because Kundalini Yoga music is matched, the rhythm, the sound, the intention is wrapped around the practice itself. It is very informative around the practice itself. And I think, hopefully, you'll find that very uplifting and very beautiful to listen to, and will awaken a whole different range of neural pathways in your brain as you listen. So those mantras come from the holy book of the Sikhs. It's called the Sri Guru Granth Sahib, and all of the mantras, the shabads, the pauris that we listen to are extracted from that particular holy book. It has a Western spin. Many of the artists are Western in origin and have taken the music and the mantras and adapted it to Western music. So there's that element too. If you're looking for more classical forms of Kundalini Yoga mantra music, then certainly you can find those classical artists as well. So all of that's available here on YouTube. You can check Spotify, and also really interesting to look around at different musical styles approaching the same type of mantras. So that's another one. Here's the last one, and probably the newest one I've added to my list of references and resources, and that is a podcast called Yoga is Dead. Interesting title. I came across this as a recommendation from another South Asian yoga teacher who's involved in cultural studies. And this podcast, Yoga is Dead, also comes from 2 other South Asian American yoga teachers who are living this wild, wacky world of yoga in the West. They are both certified in yoga, both from a Western and Eastern perspective. Both of them have done training in India, as I have done too. And so they bring a very interesting lens, and a lens that's also not often heard. And I think this is provocative work. I think it's some truth telling that we all need to hear about things that have damaged how yoga comes across. And it causes some stirring. You know, even when I was listening, I was thinking, hey, have I done that? Is that something that I can correct in my own teaching and my own approach? And a lot of this is about knowing the history of where some of the yogic practices come from, how they've been adapted here in the West, the role of teachers, the role of gurus, the role of the Yoga Alliance, veganism. There are so many different nuances to how those Western cultural ideas have shaped and formed how yoga now comes across. And I think if you really want to be immersed in the practice, it's good to have a critical eye on some of these factors so that you can make really good choices. It rattled my cage, definitely felt places where I could resonate and really leaned in. And I think it's worth the pause and the time to explore what these particular podcasters are talking about. All right, so there's my list of 7 amazing resources that can start to help you filter your practices, know what to look for, supplement with your own reading and learning. And then, of course, if you're looking for more, you can always come into the Kundalini Yoga teacher training practice that I have with Yogavision. This is 12 months of in-depth study covering all kinds of topics like meditation, pranayama, the past, present, and future of yoga, the chakras, subtle bodies, how to move safely, the history and lineage of Kundalini yoga and how it has changed and morphed over time. And then also adding your own interest, your personal inquiry, your practice classes. So a real depth of knowledge. And I will say here that one of the most important parts is the way the community comes together. So there are definitely times to interact, definitely times where you can connect with each other. And all of that really allows, for many of us, feeling a little bit alone in our practice or having some companionship along the way, accountability, and then something to work towards, a destination. And all of this is interesting. It gives you a bag of tools to use in the end, and you're allowed to make Kundalini yoga your own. And so all of that, all the links are below, all the books that I've referenced are below, and I wish you all the best in your practice. Until next time, my name is Salimah, yoga therapist. Until then, bye for now. Oh yes, and of course, like and subscribe and do all that thing and share with your friends. Bye for now.